know that.
That's good.
You're a chip off the old, what have you, off the old tree. We haven't had too many people eat bananas today. Either in support or out of support. Remember that day, Danny, that we stood by the highway where George Bush drove by? And we all stood out there and put our fingers down? Remember?
Yeah. Guess you've been on the picket line for a while, huh?
We have been experienced picketeers. You want some good audio today?
All right.
Just to embellish your video. I noticed that this past weekend in the New York Times there was a very extensive and laudatory article concerning a group of people doing exactly what we're doing in the Hudson Valley, and there were about 20 or 25 people on the vigil Saturday morning, I think between the hours of 9 and 10, and they stood by the road. And they were joined by the legendary protest picketer from way back, Pete Seeger, and they broke into lots of song and lots of dance, and it was quite a jovial time. And I thought what Pete Seeger had to say was really very apropos of what we're doing, which is if we could get 100 different groups throughout America, just a handful, 15, 25 people to show up in 100 different sites and let our politicians know that this is not a foreign policy that we, the American people, support, we would be accomplishing the purpose. And so he wasn't discouraged or disparaging the fact that there was only a handful, 20, 25 people showed up in Hudson Valley, nor am I discouraged that we only get 2 or 3 at this moment in time in Desert Hot Springs. But we're going to grow and we're going to develop it. Maybe while certainly not in Pete Seeger's category, maybe we can encourage other cities and other people to do the same thing, and maybe 100 different protest groups will flourish over a period of a few more months. And what I thought was really particularly charming was the fact that he said the same thing that I said. It doesn't take a huge amount of people. It just takes a number of people in a number of different areas. And if a lot of different areas people spouted their views, maybe it would be heard. And I thought it was quite charming. So maybe we can get a well-known Desert Hot Springs resident like a Paul Krasner or maybe a former mayor or two to show up and lend some political gravitas to the protest movement. Maybe we get more attention, but we'll go from there. It was also interesting enough that 2 weeks ago in the Santa Monica Mirror, Dr. Paul Cummins, who established at Crossroads Prep School, wrote a wonderful article in which he talked about how absurd this whole war is. And the article was so impressive that I asked Dr. Cummins if I could reproduce it and maybe include it in a local newspaper. Obviously, I wouldn't do it without his permission, and he responded very charmingly and said, by all means, just make sure you know that it's being reprinted with permission. And he was very pleased that people had picked up on what he had to say. So, maybe there's another little top notch. Thank you! Very sweet of you.
Thank you.
Oh.
Hey, Danny.
Wow.
Isn't that sweet?
Wow.
Danny, gentleman came by, wanted to give us some cold water. Said, thank you very much. He thanked us. When I thanked him, he thanked us. Wasn't that sweet? Well, it just goes to show you that maybe people can't come out, but they certainly have a viewpoint on this thing, and they really appreciate those things. And with that, I'm going to take a drink of his water and taste and say a little l'chaim, and take get a taste. How do you like that? Wasn't that something that guy just drive by? I mean, that's a kick. I mean, that will last me for another week.
Definitely.
Give me the kicks. I think that will go down in our lexicon as one of the nicer things that happened to us as we try to make a point. Just no name, no big discussion. Just handed the 2 bottles and said thank you. By the way, your contact or your blogger who responded from Japan was in America last week.
Oh?
And I happened to see him, and he happened to comment. He said he enjoys each week getting your blog. I guess is that what it is? A blog?
I guess so, a vlog.
And he says he's so pleased that he gets it in Japan. And just think, here we're doing something in this little small town of Desert Hot Springs, and here he picks it up in Japan. And marvel of American technology and the internet and all of the incredible things that are going on in communications today.
So cool. Hey Danny, it's over. You did an hour. You did an entire hour standing in this tiny area.
Hey, can I just just sit so I can hear that
Actually, that's a good idea, but probably it's better to keep it so we'd have it for next week.
Oh, thank God that's over.
Go ahead carefully.
Did a great job, sir. Let me take this from you.